Welcome back to the Imperfect Drummer and ID Labs. This is a video that I have tried to make about 3 times. This may be the 4th time. We will see how it goes. I've had to scrap the other ones. And I'm recording my GoPro, my regular camera, my microphone, anything coming out of this synth, which I'm about to talk about, and the screen on my iPad, plus all the sound. Not only on the iPad, but going into my Mac behind me. And I'm going to marry it all up. So what am I talking about today? Well, I have a Roland D-20 in front of me. This particular one came to me with a broken disk drive. A bunch of the buttons didn't work. You could press them really hard. The up button, the up value didn't work at all. And half the labels were rubbed off. So I ordered a belt and fixed the disk drive, and I replaced all of the switches, including doing a little jumper wire for the up value switch so that it now functions completely right. The switch itself, you could put a new switch on, still didn't work, so that's fixed. What else? Well, I put vinyl over the front, and then I vinyl printed all of these, or vinyl cut all of these labels, including, everything you see in white and red and silver on the front is all vinyl. If you look up close, it's a little wonky. The vinyl cutters can't really get down too close. But I think it did pretty good, and you can see it, which is the important thing. As far as I know, everything works. I've got it on the drum sound right now. And I'm about to record something, which I'll show you. The D-20 is an interesting beast. It's like the poor man's D-50, and it mixes waveforms with samples. It's 32-note polyphony, and you can put it in multi-timbral mode. I just have it in performance mode. And then it's got a memory card slot on the back, and unique to this, there may be other instruments that do this, but a lot of the other synthesizers I've messed with that have cards, the sounds that come on the card only ever work on the card. You can't load the sounds from the card into the keyboard, remove the card, and have it still function, or have the sound still work. With this, you can load the sounds from the sound cards into the internal memory and then save them with SysX, and then later on load them back onto floppy disks. So the graphic designer in me found some graphics and some font and the Roland logo, and I found the PDFs I found the SysX files for the sound cards, the PND1, the PND10, 01, 02, and 03. Plus I have some other ones. Let's see if this camera will catch this. There we go. So I custom made these labels, and the ones with QR codes actually lead to a website, not mine, but a website online that has the insert that came with the original sound card. Now, the one drawback to these is you have to pop them in and load them, which, with a card, it's instant, but at least you have the sounds. And I'll be selling this keyboard once I sort out the screen power issue with a bunch of these, with all of these discs you see here, which we will load in a minute. So what I've got my iPad running Logic, and I love keyboards, but I'm a drummer. I'm not super fast on a keyboard. So I pulled in a bunch of MIDI tracks. And those are the ones you see muted right now on the iPad. And then, let me mute the kick because I already recorded that. Yeah. And then the blue are recorded straight from the D50. So what's happening is I've got MIDI tracks in the iPad. They're playing out into the I called it a D50, into the D20, playing the D20 sounds, and then recording them on a audio track back into the iPad. And so far, let me undo this. So far, I've got an acoustic bass, which could have used a little more nuance, but it's fine for now. Kick drum's a little quiet. There it is. There's no effects on these yet. And so what I'm doing, So there is a sequencer on the D20, but I don't have time to learn and fuss around and mess with it. So instead, I'm doing it this way just so I can record the sounds from the D20. And it's kind of a cool trick. You could record a bunch of stuff from the D20 and then also play along to it and use your iPad Live instead of the internal sequencer. You could also use all of the MIDI tracks and put this in multi-timbral mode, but I'm not going to show that today. So let's see what I've got. So, and the other cool thing is I'm recording if you look at the MIDI tracks like for the snare, it's just the snare. It's just the tops, and then every once in a while I've got a flam. I'm about to do snare 2, which doesn't have very many notes, but and then the hi-hat is a separate channel. I don't have any toms. I do have a crash, open and close hi-hat. Then I've got some other synthesizers, and we can choose what sounds because they're just MIDI data. There's no sound attached to them. They're just playing whatever is live on the keyboard. So, like for snare 2, let's go into edit mode. Here we go. It's a little cramped on this iPad. Let me see. I think I've got 2 of them. So I want this. Let's see. Oh, I have to make. You won't hear it unless I make one of the channels live. This is the one I want, and I need to see. I don't know which MIDI note it is, but it's not this one. Well, you know what? We'll just use that one. That's this one up here. So I'm recording and listening on an audio track, but I'm playing up here on a MIDI track, and because it's MIDI, it doesn't matter where I start as long as I start before the notes play. So I'm going to hit record. Theoretically, I can talk over this because it's recording straight in with inputs. The microphone is recording on a different machine. So there'll be one more flam up here. Okay. So we've got that one. Now, we have a kick already. Let me mute the MIDI channel so it doesn't play out. All right, and then I don't want to record enable this. Yep. All right, so now we go down to, here's the crash. So I'll unmute the crash, and then I need another audio channel to record the crash. Oh yeah, that is my input. I had to switch. All right. Now it's working. Let me go over here on the MIDI channel, go up. Oh, MIDI output. Oops. MIDI input. MIDI output channel 10. Now we should be good. Let's see if this works. Nope. Oh, because I hit record on the. There's so many. Not exactly the greatest crash cymbal sound, but it's the only drum set that I have loaded. When I'm done with this, I'm going to EQ it on my desktop and put it in the final video so you can hear a good mix. I think that's the end. I didn't really write an end to the song, so. Yeah. Okay. Now, I had a channel here, it looked like. I could have slid that. Hang on, I'll slide it down. Okay, so now we have the open hi-hat. Let me mute this. Record this. Oh, I need to check the channel this is on. MIDI out. channel 10. All right, let's see if that works. So this is the open hi-hat. We'll do the closed next. And then we'll get into some synthesizer sounds, because they're pretty cool. All right, let me double check. Yeah, that's the only open hi-hat. So, all right, mute that. Now we have the closed hi-hat, which will be on the wrong channel also. Audio input. Yeah, okay. Edit. Now you can also see that there are volume settings, velocity settings on these. So this is the wrong MIDI channel. MIDI output again. MIDI channel 10. All right. So we're going to select all. And we are just going to drag that thing up to the top. See how that sounds. Boy, it's really computerized, isn't it? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. It doesn't pick up the nuances through MIDI that that Logic's drummer plays in. But we'll EQ it. I keep doing that. Nope. I have to drag. There we go. All right. Record. Enable this track. And play it. I record. There are a bunch of velocities set for the hi-hats, but it's not really honoring them. So maybe this isn't a great demo of this because it's mostly drums right now. But this should be the last drum track, so we will we'll shift to some cool synthesizer sounds. All right, somehow I lost the kick on the end, but at this point, I don't care. All right, yeah, I have a couple of synthy stuff. So, okay, so let me make sure all of the MIDI tracks. Oh, I hope it wasn't. I think it was playing the open and the closed at the same time. Hang on. Oh, it's all right. Yeah, it's doing something weird there, but that's all right. Okay. So, let's do another audio track. This will be our synthesizer. Let me switch to synth. Well, I have it on a bass sound right now, but unmute this. Double check the channel. The channel will be all, but the MIDI output. There we go. So this should play a bass now. Yeah. All right. So now we need a synthesizer. I think these are all. Yeah. Oh. I think there's some cool effects on here, actually. Yeah, this is all drums. So I'm going to load in. Where is it? I'm going to load in the Best of Internet sound set off the floppy. So first thing I have to do is hit tune function, display up, value down. And then I hit data transfer, upper, which is load. It checks the disk to make sure the name, yep, best of. And then I hit enter and it loads. Now it will overwrite the entire set of sound banks. So be prepared to lose everything that's in there. But you can actually use a librarian app and arrange all the patches you want so that you have all, there's bank A and bank B, and there's 64. So there's 128 sounds you can have at the same time. You can also just load a bunch of stuff over MIDI instead of using the floppies. But, all right, so let's see. For a poor man's D-20, there's some pretty good sounds in here. Oh, let's see. Let's just put this on a loop. And just play it. All right, so I'm punching my output a little too high. Let's see. I was going to do an organ. That's a weird note right there. I might fix that. There we go. That'll work. All right, I got a funky note there somewhere, and this is looped. I believe this is looped. Let's see what it... No, it's not looped. I copy and paste it. It's not bad. All right, well, let's just start it over and record this. Okay. Yeah, that's the weird note. Oh well. I think that might have been an accident. Forgot how long this was. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. Well, let's mute that one. Turn these off. Now I got another track, which was piano, but let's see how it sounds on piano. Is this... No, this doesn't have the piano sound that I want. So let's go to one of the other tracks. Let's try this one. All right. Mute the piano, unmute. I had a harp sound. I should have paid attention to... oops, let's do another audio track. And make sure that this is set to the MIDI interface. And, oh yeah, oh. So it's a little glissando, but I think... Let me load... I have the factory, yeah, Jerome's patches. Let me see if it's on there. The piano sound is on there, so I'm going to load that. Okay. I was surprised to find a decent piano sound. I guess we'll just do the piano since we're loading it in. All right, so unmute the piano. And we'll just drag this up here. And sound A35 is my piano sound. There we go. I think it's 35, yeah. So let's see how that sounds. And I don't hear it. All right. Let's double check. I think I didn't set that one. Nope. Oh, there we go. Sure, it's busy, but whatever. It's a very 90s poppy sound, so let's just record that one. I can see now there's way too much repetition in this, but oh well. It's just a demo anyway. And there's no ending note. That's funny too. All right, mute the piano track, undo these. All right, now let's do this glissando. It's like I had a harp sound, which I should have paid attention to where it was. It might have been on the stock. Well, we can just loop this one. Let's see if it plays. Oops, hang on. Stop. I need an audio channel. Let's try the sound set 2. No, not 2, 3. I think 3. This is where I should have done a little bit of prepping, but I did not. Sound set 2 is rhythm. 1, I can't remember what 1 is. 3 has got a bunch of cool synthesizer-y stuff, but I think it's got... And if that doesn't work, I'll load the factory set back in, and we'll see. This is a fun synthesizer, though. I'm going to be putting it up for sale, and I probably won't charge too much. It'll be under market, even though I've customized it, because you never know what people might want. Yeah, I don't see... I see lots of piano sounds, but I don't see that harp sound, so... I don't know why I didn't whistle. Okay. Vibraphone. And I know there's a B set, but well, let me double check the B. Yeah, I don't think it's on this one. So let me put the stock library back in. There's something fun about using old floppy disks, which, well, these aren't really floppy, but they called them that. Okay. Stock voices. There it is. That's what I wanted. All right. That's all we need is just that, so. There we go. Oh, I probably should, there's a delay built into that sound. Let me record it again and let it run a little bit. Okay. That one's done. Now we have this arpeggiator here. Let's set the MIDI on that one. All right. Another audio channel. Record enabled. Yep, here we go. Kind of like that it doesn't have an ending. All right, so that is all. That's all the tracks I had. I can go through a few of the other sounds. I mean, this is the stock library that's in here now. There we go. Does have pretty good stereo effects. And I need to brush up on my music theory. Not too bad. Oops. 61. I mean, there's just loads of stuff on here, and it's actually pretty good. Oh, there's some drums. All right, B1. And these are the stock sounds. Let's load library 1. Let's see what's on library 1. You can listen to a bunch of these sounds already on the internet. People showcase the cards. But I don't know. I just think it's cool to load them off the floppy disk. It shows my age, I guess, doesn't it? First computer I ever had, our family had an Apple IIe, I think, with the big giant hard drive mounted on the side and a 5 1/4. 5 1/4? Yeah, floppy drives. And then my brother got a Mac. I think he had an SE. Oh, turn off right. Yep, sorry. Wasn't paying attention. He had a Yamaha KX88 controller. And on his Mac, he had a MIDI interface, and he was running Deluxe Music Construction Set. And I just dragged MIDI notes around and played out into a Yamaha TX81Z, which is a 4-operator synth rack. And I learned how to program that thing, which I can't remember for the life of me now. But I would write little linear, basically kind of Bach style linear stuff, which is all this is really, it really is. Yeah, there's a big old. Oh, there's the Holy Harp. That's probably the sound I actually wanted, but anyway, I may make some more videos before I sell this, just of some of the synth sounds, because when you add reverb, it's really great. But oh, I got somebody outside with a loud engine. So let's look at this. Turn off the record enable. Yeah, so some of these are too loud. That's piano. Because it'll take me too long and I'm using one arm, I'm not going to throw all the effects on here. I'm going to do that on Logic on the desktop, and then I'll play the song at the end. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been enjoying this keyboard. Yeah, the D20 gets a lot of trash talk on the internet, I guess, but it's surprisingly versatile. I'm hoping somebody will buy it and really enjoy it. I don't have the skills to really make this thing shine, but there really are some cool sounds on it. That's all I've got today. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I haven't rambled too much. As always, click the subscribe button. I'm really hoping to get more of these out in a faster pace. I do wish I could do more drum videos, but I haven't been in a place where I could set my drums up and record them in a very long time, and it probably will be another 9 months before I'm in any place to be able to do that. So keyboards are what's going to happen now. And I've got some other projects in the works, so come back for more. Like and subscribe, tell your friends, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.